The hardest part of my week, every week, is thinking about how I do this spot right now and open my table talk video. I try and open it differently every week, reflecting what's going on. And some weeks it's much harder than others. Some weeks it's really easy and go, you know what, we can open with this. And other weeks I'm scratching my head and thinking about it. So this week I could have opened it with, yes, I finally got my hair cut. Or I could have opened it with, have you done your Christmas shopping yet? Don't forget your loved one could buy you a model kit stuffed t-shirt. I could open it with, we've got a stash ad, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I think what we're gonna go with is, it was a landmark week for model kit stuff this week because we launched membership. Anyway, some people still call it Saturday, I call it Table Talk Day, and you're very welcome. Yes, hello everyone, it's Saturday again. They come round quickly, which is good because that means we're motoring towards the end of the year and we've got some fun stuff lined up for the end of the year, fingers crossed, if all things go to plan. A massive, massive welcome to all of you. My name is Jason, and if you're a new subscriber, a big welcome. You're sure to find something on the channel that you'll love, whether you build plastic kits or wooden kits. There's something for you most weeks. And if you're a long-standing subscriber, a big thank you to you too, and we'll talk more about you guys in a minute. But for now, what's Table Talk all about? In the last 2 months, we've had nearly 1,000 new subscribers. We're nearly at 11k subscribers. Mind-boggling. It doesn't feel like 5 minutes ago that we did the 10k takeover. We're not particularly going to celebrate 11,000 subscribers, or the fact that we are now past 2 million views of content on this channel. It's huge, and all done in just 4 years. I love doing this. I think that probably comes across, and I love it because of the interaction I get with you guys, and that is starting to grow again and turn into something else. So more of that to come. So if you're one of the 1,000 new subscribers over the last 8 weeks and you've never watched a Table Talk, what we do is we talk about what's going on behind the scenes, what's coming up, what happened last week, what's on the bench, what's coming up on the bench. All of that sort of stuff gives you an insight into what's going. Make sure you've not missed anything that you really shouldn't have missed. And I fill the gaps in between with quite a bit of waffle, if I'm honest. I am getting a bit notorious for going off on a tangent, but you know, there you go. I'm not going to change that. I don't think I can help myself, really. Right, so let's start with what we got up to last week, because we had a very, very, very busy week last week. In fact, December's quite busy for me all the way through, in all sorts of reasons. I am really time poor as we tear through December. But we kicked off Monday with the little 172 Higgins landing craft from Airfix. And I've said this before, but I will say it again. I can't read you guys. I really, really can't. That little short first impressions video, as most of you are aware, my first impressions videos are usually somewhere between half an hour to an hour, depending on the kit. That was about 15 minutes, I think, and it did 3 times the views that a normal first impressions video would get. I got 3 new subscribers. After 2 days, it had 3 times as many views. I'd had 3 new subscribers. Go figure that. I mean, I bought that as a bit of a filler when I was ordering, someone had said to me, it's a really nice kit, you should check it out. And I got to a point where I just needed to add something else to the item to get my free shipping. And that fitted the bill in terms of cost. So it was a bit of a flippant purchase, but actually a very, very nice kit. And I think that comes across well in the video. So not my usual first impressions format. I didn't take any photographs. We just did a, here it is, have a look. I didn't think people were going to be too fussed about it. How wrong can I be? Very, it would appear. So yeah, that was a nice kick-off to the week. Obviously, a lot of people interested, a lot of people commenting about its potential for dioramas, and I completely agree. And it's very nice when you've got a model that you can then build another model and put it in, and you've not got to find extra display space, you can put it in it. And you know, you get some 172 figures for that, and make yourself a little beach diorama. You know, you could get two or three of those, one on the beach just unloaded, one on the just run up and starting to unload, and one behind it loaded up coming in. You could make quite an animated little diorama there if you were so inclined, because they're inexpensive, so why not? Yeah, very, very nice little kit. Then on Tuesday we announced the opening of the subscriber showcase. So let's talk a little bit about that while we're at that point. The subscriber showcase is now open, so if you missed that little video on Tuesday, just the announcement of that, it is now open. You can now send me your photographs for the supplier subscriber showcase. So what is that? If you don't know, what we do at the end of the year is we ask all of you subscribers to send in some pictures. I string it all together in a video, and then we share all of your work with everybody else that's watching the channel. It's a really nice way of giving back, and you getting the opportunity to highlight some of what you've done without having to go to all the bother of creating a channel for yourself. So yeah, it's a nice little thing. It's one of my highlights of the year. I really look forward to it. I like to see what you guys have been up to. There'll be more of that next year, but we'll come to that. So yeah, I know some of you didn't finish your B17s in time for the group build, so it's an opportunity to share those as well. So the rules are very simple. You need to send me a maximum of 4 photographs. If you send me more, if you send me 12, then one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to go, I've not got time for this and I won't share them, or, you know, if you send me 5 or 6, I might quickly choose the 4 that I want to show, but then it's become my choice and not your choice. So do your best to remember to just send 4 photographs, and that can be 4 photographs of one model you're really pleased with that you built this year and done it at several angles, or it can be 1 photograph of four of the builds that you did this year. The idea is you're showcasing what you did during 2024. Now, it doesn't have to be a completed model. I've had a few messages of people saying, look, I've not had a really productive year. You know what? Share what you did. If you're happy to, share what you did. If you're not happy to, that's fine. We'll catch up with you next year. But particularly if you're building quite a busy model that's going to take you quite some time, then I'm happy to see your progress. Especially if you're building a wooden model kit. I'd like to see more wooden ship kits in that video mix. We've always had 1 or 2, which has been lovely. But you know, show me your Sherbornes. Let's see how you're progressing with some of those. Are you keeping up with me? Have you got ahead of me? You know, be interesting to see where you are with those. So I don't mind if it's incomplete. Let's just have a look what you've been doing. So a maximum of 4 photographs. Send it to modelkitstuff@gmail.com. Right, so that was Tuesday. Then we got to Wednesday, and sticking with wooden ships, we had part 6 of Sherborne, and that was putting the decorative elements on the keel, the prow, transom, ready for the second planking. So what will come in the next video is I'm going to show you how to do a planking fan, which is a method of calculating how much taper you need to put on planks so that you can fit the planks to the hull evenly and it looks nice and natural. So I'll show you how to do that. I have shown before on the fly videos, but I think I've probably explained it a little bit more simplified in this one. So yeah, I am still ahead of you on the Sherborne, but you're closing in fast. So I've taken the view that I'm going to do a bit more Sherborne during the course of December and keep fly paused while I get ahead on Sherborne, so that I've got plenty of material. Once we've got past fitting the hull fittings and the deck, we'll move ahead quite quickly. Then we've got half a dozen carronades to build up and some deck bits and pieces, that windlass and hatch combings and that sort of stuff to do, and then we're on masts and rigging, which is not a complex job on Sherborne. The rigging has been simplified. There's no running rigging, there's just some fixed rigging, so it will look nice and we'll get it done fairly quickly. I suspect probably at the rate we're going, 3 months to get her finished, and then we'll start the next one. So as I said last week, there's going to be 4 builds in the series of building models for absolute beginners, which will cover all the basic stuff that you're going to get to grips with and allow you to go out and build anything you like after that. This week I received the 3rd of those 4 kits. I hope to buy the 4th one in the new year, and then we're all good. I'm still debating whether I'm doing which way around I'm doing it, but I think the one that I've received this week, which is HMS Adder, I think we might end up doing that last because it's got a lot more rigging. The other model is more simplified, but it has coppering for coppering the hull. So yeah, okay, moving on. That was this week's Wood Wednesday. Next week's Wood Wednesday, we should have some more Endeavour first impressions. I've got some other bits and pieces to show you during Wood Wednesday, such as, I nearly didn't mention these, let me just get these for you. I got the 3D printed resin longboats for HMS Indefatigable, and they are absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then you've got some laser cut wood bits to plop in, the thwarts and stuff, and yeah, it's stunning. So I'll be reviewing those soon on Wood Wednesday as well. Yeah, plenty more to come. Right, so that is what we got up to on Wednesday. And then Friday, all things being equal, should have been the tempo. So I say that because it's Wednesday as I'm recording this and I haven't edited that video yet, so I don't know whether I had enough material. I think I do, but yeah, if not, I probably did a live stream, so I don't know which way I went, but of course you guys will do by now. Now I skipped past Thursday there, and I did that deliberately because we've got lots to talk about around that, and what we'll do is we'll talk about that in another slot. So that is what we got up to last week. So on the bench, what did we get up to? Saturday we were working on Sherborne, and we finished the sanding and painting of the hull, so I'm happy that she's looking splendid, which included putting on some photo etch, the rudders painted up as well, and then we started working on the whales which we need to attach. They go pretty much where the white paint stops, or just below. So we've got to do those. So you have to pre-shape those, pre-paint those, then glue them in, then touch them up. So that's the bit we're working on next, which will be this Saturday coming. So that's what we're going to be working on. And then once that's on, I think we're then looking at fitting the false deck, the actual deck onto the false deck, which means removing all the little ribs and bits and pieces. So yeah, she's coming along lovely. Really happy with yeah, how she's looking. Yeah, really nice. So that was Saturday. We did some Sherborne, and as you now know, we're going to be doing a bit more Sherborne this Saturday coming. And then Sunday was Scharnhorst, and lots of little bits and pieces. So we got some deck fittings going on. So you can see we've got railings on there now, and the guns and cable reels and stuff. And then on this deck we've got observation equipment in and installed, some 3D printed resin parts and bits and pieces, lockers and bits and pieces. And the next thing I'm going to be working on is the little cranes that swing off here. I need to have the cranes partly installed to allow this to be glued into place anyway, and then once the cranes are in, we're going to do the superstructure behind it, which allows me to put this in and correctly position the little ladders that go at the back. Plus I don't want to build this any higher now. It's starting to get delicate, so I want it on the deck. So I'm not handling it, I'm handling the whole model. And as I think I probably said a couple of weeks ago now, that means looking at the putting her on a permanent display stand, which we'll perhaps do over the Christmas holidays when I've got a little bit more time, because the display stand is a combination of acrylic and wood, and we've got to do some wood staining. That means getting my big circular saw out and my big sanding disc. Some machines we've not used on the channel so far, so we'll be doing that, and cutting up a acrylic sheet and bits and pieces like that, and putting her on a permanent base, and then we wrap that in cling film, in plastic wrap, so that it's protected while we continue working. It'll drop her down on a profile, take her out of her build jig, and it'll be easier to have a play with her. I think that's my plan. We might leave it a bit later yet, but I'm still, before I start putting delicate bits on, I want to have built the base so that I can just screw it on when I'm ready to. And we've still got some bits to do on the hull, so there's a bit of detail painting left to do, decals to go on, and stuff. So there's bits and pieces that I really want to do before I start gluing more delicate bits onto the hull. So that was what I did this weekend. On the bench this Sunday, I'll be doing my darndest to finish the tempo. So last week I asked you, what would you like to see next? The Panzer 1 and using enamel paints, and most of you actually were more interested in the Junkers, although there were some people interested in the Panzer 1. We are going to do the Panzer 1, so it's just, we've decided the order. Junkers first. I think some people are rubbing their hands with glee, waiting to see how I get on with painting the corrugator plastic, but don't you worry about that. It'll all be good. It'll all be good. Even if we do a diorama of a crashed and you can't see where the paint lines are. Right, that was what was on the bench, and what we're going to be working on next week will be tempo and Sherborne and moving ahead. So yeah, there we go. That's the bench done. So this week's addition to the stash, and actually I had 2 additions to the stash this week, but we'll show you the other one next week, and we've already mentioned what it is. But they're the last 2 kits of 2024, so that's a little sad, isn't it? That there is no more kits to look at for the next few weeks. But what a lovely kit this is. So this was a pre-order I've got. Now I say I've got no more kits coming. I do have a long-standing pre-order with Jadlam. I'm not pre-ordering from Jadlam anymore. They are so slow. But yeah, I have an outstanding pre-order with them, and their prices are good, and the service is good and everything. But when you need things quickly for the channel, yeah, there are better people. Scale Model Shop, is it Scale Model Shop? I think that I use a lot, and they get stuff out to you very, very quickly. So yeah, this, what a lovely looking kit this is. Now we showed this as a kit is coming up a little while ago, and I sort of knew I was getting it when I first looked at it. And do you know what sold me? The big smiley face on it. So yeah, what's called a cushioned vehicle, air cushioned vehicle. In the UK we'd call it a hovercraft, and yeah, looks like, I've not really looked inside. I've lifted the lid off, but I've not had a rummage. I just had a peer in. But yeah, when you look at the CAD images of it, it looks like it'll be quite an involved little build. It's a decent sized box, and I can assure you it is rammed. So yeah, it's not all floating around. We've got photo etch, we've got decals, and we've got some 3D printed parts, or at least one 3D printed part there. It looks like some form of mesh cage or something, don't know. But yeah, I think that's a lovely looking kit, and it's something very, very different. So when I'm building, I'm going, right, I've done a plane, so I need to do a vehicle or something. Well, or we've not done sci-fi, or you know what, that's something different. So that may well move up the build queue quite rapidly. So yeah, yeah, it really grabs you, that. So interesting model. I'll be filming the first impressions of that in the next few days, and we'll get it out because it's a new release. So we'll probably change what we're planning to do on one of the Mondays and swap it for that. So yeah, that's my stash ad, along with HMS Adder from Vanguard Models. But I'll show you that next week, and then you can get a bit of an insight into what's coming up on the Absolute Beginners build. Very interesting kit, the Adder, because she has an unusual hull. But yeah, I think that's a gorgeous looking kit. And yeah, I can't remember if I've got another Gecko Models kit or not. I've certainly got figures, can't remember, but that looks very interesting. Right then, news. Before we get to the big news, the really important news, there is some kits being released that I thought might be interesting to talk about. So Trumpeter have announced a release for January of another aircraft carrier, this time a Nimitz class. I think, is it the Ford? Looked quite nice, got some 3D printed resin mobile cranes, which look quite nice. So whether they come with the kit or they're additional sets, you know, they do like an upgrade set when you get metal propellers and metal gun barrels. I wonder if they're going to do something like that. I don't know, but certainly the images of the kit show them on. quite a lot of photo etch. Looks quite a detailed little kit, actually. When I say little kit, quite a big kit. So yeah, that's possibly interesting. Not sure it's interesting enough for me to actually buy it. We might get one for review on the channel. We will see. Then Qatari, they've got a 109 coming out. I think most people probably already know this. I've got to be honest, where I am with this is a bit like where I am with them with the Spitfire. The 109, as far as I can see, it doesn't look hands down massively an improvement on the Zukimura 109, and you don't get an engine, and you do with the Zukimura one. I've got the Zukimura one, we've reviewed it, I intend to build it. What's going to happen with the Qatari one is loads of people are going to buy it for a review on their YouTube channels, and then some YouTube channels are going to race each other to see who can build it quickly. I'm not going to get involved in any of that nonsense. I'm just going to let it pass me by, because to be honest, it's just another 109 in 132 scale, and yeah, the mould, it might be a bit crisper in places, and they might have thought about the fit a little bit better than most other manufacturers would, but you know, yeah, it doesn't grab me, and I think what they need to be doing is doing something a little bit different than the bog standard fighters. I mean, what are they going to do next? A Mustang, you know? So yeah, it's not talking to me, that one. I've had a look at some of the CAD drawings, and it, you know, it all looks very nice. I'm sure it'll be a nice model, but it doesn't grab me. What does grab me though is the Horton 229A from Takom, or Takom Wings. I'm not sure, I've come across Takom Wings before. I don't know whether that's new or what. 132 scale. That is very interesting. Zukimura have one of those, and it's been on my wish list for a while, but as this is a new release, we might get the Takom one. It looks very detailed. It's got detachable wings. It's got very detailed interior. They're also releasing a 116 scale pilot alongside it, clearly not to go with it, because the pilot, you know, is in like a pressurized suit, and he's got a helmet on that looks like a spaceman's helmet, but you can see it's clearly designed by an aero engineer, because it basically looks like an aircraft canopy that's been designed to fit on your shoulders. It's quite amusing, but you know, that's how it was originally designed. It's not Takom making it up. So yeah, that is grabbing me a little bit, because I don't have one of those, and I really fancy one, and it's been on my wish list for a while. So the fact that Takom are releasing it, could just well get one for review on the channel for that, I think. Now, the real big news, the exciting news, certainly from my point of view, and I'm hoping from your point of view, is that we've launched membership, channel membership. And what I've done, I've been thinking about it for a little while. I have people that donate to the channel regularly, and it's their donations that helps us add this sort of stuff into the channel, so that we can do a first impressions, get a look at it, and help you decide whether it's something you want to buy into or not. And the number of times people have said, I wasn't considering this, and then I saw your review, or on the flip side, I really fancied this and then I saw your review. So it is helpful, and I review the kits the way I would like to watch reviews, which means they're involved and they're in depth, and you get a full understanding of everything. And I even sometimes throw in there things like, you know, this is how I go about that, and that looks like a challenge. And you know, I enjoy doing the first impressions, and I certainly get a lot of love for them. But they're possible because of the donations, and people donate in different ways. So I have one or two people that donate annually. I have one or two people that donate monthly, and then one or two people that donate weekly. And you know, it's greatly appreciated, but I was thinking, how do I give something back to those subscribers that are going beyond, you know, really enjoyed the channel, watch most of the videos, comment regularly. These people are going a little bit beyond. So that's what made me think about a social group for these people, and also any other subscribers that would really like to be chatting, have a sense of community, like a modelling club. I've always said that the channel is like a bit of a magazine, and that's sort of how I visualise it. We look at products, we look at tools, we look at kits, we build stuff like a model magazine does. So I think of it very much like that. And I've never been a model club member. When I was younger, I wasn't aware of them and where they were and how to join them. And I did have friends that built models, but everyone sort of did it in isolation, and you sort of found out by accident that they also built models. You know, I had one friend that built airliner models, and he loved airliners, and that's what he built. But his interest was airliners, and he sometimes built models of them. So there was people, but there was never a modelling club. You know, at school there was a railway club, but there wasn't a modelling club. So I never really fell into modelling clubs. But what we're sort of doing is going that way. So if, like me, you don't have many people you can talk to about modelling, and you'd like to talk to people about modelling, then membership is going to be for you. So what I've done is I've set the membership fee at $4.99 a month. Now, YouTube give you some set fees, set amounts, and you have to select one. The reason why I've gone for that particular amount of money is it's less than anybody donates. So so it doesn't matter how much you donate, over the course of a month, everyone is donating more than $4.99. So it's a way of giving you something back, and you've not had to spend any more. In fact, I'll get a little bit less, because in membership the YouTube will take a cut, but that's by the by. What will happen when you take out membership is we will give you access to the Model Kit Stuff social group, which is a Facebook page, which allows you to interact with me and other subscribers who have become members in a small friendly group. It means you can share photos of your builds, we can talk about our builds, you know, but we also get to know each other over time, just like an ordinary modelling club. So I think it's a lot of fun. I don't think I recognise that most people are happy to have free at the point of use YouTube videos that get interrupted by adverts, and you know that works for them, and they're quite happy to do that. And I'm guessing some of you probably are on premium and don't get the adverts and get a slightly better experience, so you're already paying a monthly fee to get probably a number of channels. But what this will do, particularly when we're doing group builds, if you've taken out membership, is you'll be able to share your progress, and it will feel more interactive than a YouTube channel on its own can do. The social group was set up earlier in the week. Myself and 3 admins, so Jeff, Andy and Mark, we've put a few posts in already, so that there's some stuff there to talk about and get people going. But as people take out membership and join, those conversations will grow, so just bear with us in the first few weeks while people are starting to join. But if you already are somebody who donates to the channel, I would strongly recommend you do the membership. It's not costing you anything more than you're already donating to the channel, and it allows that to happen without you thinking about it, and you're getting something more for it. You're getting the social group, so it'll be a great place to interact. So I'm looking forward to what grows out of membership, and whilst you're paying your membership, you'll have access to the group, and if you decide you need to leave, that's fine, but you also leave the social group as well. So yeah, I'm hoping that those of you that donate at the very least will consider it, but maybe some other people who don't donate currently to the channel can see the benefits of having a social group where they can interact and talk to other people, share what they're doing, learn from others, teach others, share knowledge and that sort of stuff. I think it will be a great thing, and I'm hoping over time that it's going to become something that is a draw to people. So I'm certainly looking forward to it. I think by having membership, we're keeping the trolls out, we're keeping it a nice environment, and the vibe and the feel that you get from model kit stuff should transfer to the channel as well. So just a more immersive model kit stuff experience. So I'm looking forward to that. Members will also get their name announced on the back end of the video when we do the thank yous. You also will get a little badge, which is a star next to your name. So when you're in chats on a Friday, you'll be able to see who's members, or more importantly, I can. And that badge changes colour the longer you've been a member. There will be other members' benefits coming out from time to time. So we might do the occasional additional videos just for members. We might do some consultation with members about channel direction and that sort of stuff. So members will get a bit more of an immersive thing over time. But yeah, we may even do some things like members only live streams and that sort of stuff. All things to be come next year, things that I need to think about. But your main benefit is the social group and giving back a little something to say thank you for the money that is very kindly donated to the channel. It does keep the cameras rolling, but yeah, it's nice to be able to give something back and say thank you. So I hope those of you that have already joined are going to enjoy it and be active in the social group, and I look forward to chatting to you in there. Perfect timing. That was a text. Right then, the week ahead. It's all a little bit fluid at the moment. Monday, if I've had chance, will be the first impressions of this. If I haven't, then it's going to be a tool review that I've already recorded of actually pretty cool tool, and I've used it a few times now on both plastic and wooden models, and it's worked a treat. So I've been quite impressed by it. So it's going to be either or. Wednesday we should have Endeavour, a first impressions. Yeah, so I'm definitely hoping to have 2 videos out. At the very least it'll be first impressions because that's recorded, ready to go, and then on Friday we should be back to Scharnhorst. Now in between there, somewhere in there, there might be an additional video. I want to talk about Airfix ships post Telford. I meant to have already done it by now, but like I say, I'm a bit time poor at the moment. So hopefully that'll come out. So that would either be on a Tuesday or a Thursday when there's not another video. So yeah, that I think is it for the week ahead. We've already talked about what's on the bench. So yeah, I think you know what's going down. Now then, before we go, I've got a couple of special thank yous that I need to make. So you all support the channel in various different ways, and you know, even if you're just watching and hitting the like button, that makes a huge difference. And most people watch don't hit the like button, but what happens when you hit the like button is the algorithm starts popping it into other people's stream. So when the video ends and all those little boxes pop up, it'll pop up in there for someone who might be interested in watching it because they've watched similar things, or you know, if they put a search in, it'll pop in the search and that sort of stuff. And actually most people still watch my videos because it's popped up in those little boxes at an end of another video that they've watched. So if you hit the like button, that happens more often to other people, and that supports the channel because more people watching the videos means a little bit more revenue, which helps us get more kits for first impressions, more products and tools to review and so on. And it just gets it out there. So that's a big thing you can do. We've already talked about membership and donations and all of that sort of stuff. I have merchandise as well at the bottom of my videos. You can buy really nice tin camping mug, so you can drop your cup of tea on the floor and it's not going to break your mug. But I do have some breakable mugs if that's your preference, t-shirts, and some really good quality working aprons, especially if you're doing lots of wood sanding and stuff. They're brilliant. So all sorts of things that you can do. Some people have supported the channel this year in a slightly different way on top of those sort of things, and have lent me kits to review. So this year was the first time that I've been lent kits for review. I've had quite a few kits lent to me, and I don't think any of them have been out as reviews yet. You'll start seeing them next year. But these are two of them. And Dom, thank you very much for lending me this. I really enjoyed this because I've never looked at a Russian ship kit before. It absolutely is not something of interest for me, Russian ships. So it was very interesting to look at this kit. So you should already have this back if I haven't forgotten again. Apologies. But yeah, so be looking out for this as a first impressions coming along soon. And Craig, who's lent me two border aircraft kits. Now I've not really looked at border deeply before, other than the Lancaster nose, which I ended up selling because I thought it was lacking in its instruction for such a complex interior build. I've recorded the Spitfire and the Focke-Wulf I have yet to record. I'm going to plan to record that in the next couple of days, possibly over the weekend. So you should see them back in the post to you next week, Craig. Thank you very much. It's been very interesting looking at those two kits. So, you know, people support the channel in many ways, and it doesn't matter how you support it. I massively appreciate all of you. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your modelling this week. We're nearly getting to Christmas. Don't forget to take some pictures for the subscriber showcase. 4 pictures. You just need your phone. You don't need to do anything fancy, but by all means, if you want to set it up and do it on your digital SLR, great. Get those 4 pictures over to me and then I can start stitching that together. I don't know what the closing date is for that, but I probably need a week before it goes out. I plan to have the video go out on the 31st of December, so that gives you a rough idea of where you need to be. You certainly need to try and get them into me over the next 2 weeks. Okay, thank you very much everyone. I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. It's free, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can hit my PayPal link in the text below. Every pound goes straight into the channel to keep the cameras rolling and to do more fun stuff for you to watch.